Hi guys, it's Rick Shiels down here at Quest Golf Academy here at Prairie Sports Village. I'm going to do a head-to-head. This is the Callaway 5-year challenge. We're going to see how much technology, if at all, has moved on. So, with the help of my good friends at GolfBidder, I managed to get hold of every Callaway driver in the last 5 years. 24 drivers they brought out, 24. Now, if we were all led to believe what the marketing guys say, we should all be hitting it 400 yards now. We're not. I want to see if what's the case. So, what I've decided to do, I was going to test all 24, but it just proved to be a bit of a logistical nightmare. I was starting to go grey. Just the testing process was hard. So, what I've decided to do is do a driver from every year, from 2012 all the way up to new 2017. And I've chosen the models that are kind of just the normal model. They're not pro models, they're not Sub-Zero models, they are just the normal models. I'm going to test it on GC2 HMT, get some data on the sim software. The rules of this test, I'm going to hit 10 drives with each driver, 10 Pro V1s with each driver. The 5 that hit the fairway, and I'm saying the fairway is 40 yards width-wise, so 20 yards either side of the centre line. They're the shots that count. I'm going to record 5 of them. Now, the drivers do get rewarded if it hits more fairways. So if out of 10 shots it hits 9 fairways, well, I'm going to choose the best 5 shots. If the driver only manages to hit 5 fairways, they're the 5 shots that I count. So there's a level of forgiveness that I'm going to involve in this test as well. Let's start. We're going to go RAZR Fit. This is the Callaway RAZR Fit 2012 first. It's the only one that I'm going to have to have the different shafting, because after 2012 the neck changed. So actually the X Hot might need the same shaft. So in the shaft of this one I've got the, this is the Aldila Trinity 65X Stiff. I've actually got it in open setting because the weights are in draw, but the weights are quite heavy. Again, big shout out to GolfBidder for hooking me up with pretty much all of these drivers to test. But I think I'd be here till next Christmas if I was doing this test. I will do it one day, I promise you. One day I will do that test. So stay tuned, I'm going to fly through these. We'll see you at the end. See you on the other side after I've hit 60 golf balls, 10 with each driver, and then we can fly through the data and see if there's any difference at all. So RAZR Fit, this is 2012, classic looking head, just a black finish, a couple of adjustable weights, and only one changeable neck option. Okay, so moving into the X Hot next. This is just a standard version. There was a Pro. This is just a standard version. It's still only got the one changeable neck option, so I'm sticking with the Aldila Trinity extra stiff shaft. I think this was probably one of the first ever Callaway clubs I reviewed on my YouTube channel. Okay, so the V-Series black head, lots of grooves on the face, even though they aren't actually grooves, it's just painted on. It's actually a really good looking head. Not as nice as the grey finish of the X Hot, but a good shape head. Similar to classic head shapes of Callaway that I see now. I'm now using the Aldila Rogue 60 gram extra stiff flex. Okay, so we now move into Callaway Big Bertha Alpha 815. This is the second edition of the Alpha. This is where The original edition really started to toy with the idea of movable weights with the gravity core. They continued it in this, but then they brought in this new face technology with I think this was the first reflex face or moto face. There was some word around it. Let's go 815 Big Bertha Alpha. I've got the gravity core at the bottom, the weight slightly in draw biased, 10-degree head. Okay, so now we move into the XR. This is the XR16. Again, second edition, because we had the original XR and they brought out the XR16. They had this in Pro and the Sub-Zero model, which I've even got the Sub-Zero, but I think that was a really limited stock as well. So this time I've still got it in 10 degrees. There's no adjustability apart from the dual neck changeability. I've got it in the Aldila again. Let's go 5 more with the XR16. So we now get to the Epic 2017. Great Big Bertha Epic. This is the standard version. It's in neutral, so it's not the Sub-Zero, it's standard version. This is where they say change the game with the jailbreak technology. Let's see if it makes any difference. I've got it in 10 degrees neutral. Let's give this a whirl. I've got this in Aldila shaft again. Okay, so we're back round to 2012 Callaway RAZR Fit. I've swapped the 2 weights at the bottom around just so I don't draw it so much. Okay, so X2 hot, no changeability needed. So now 2014. Callaway Big Bertha V Series. Okay, so I'm going to change the weighting on this one as well. This is the Big Bertha Alpha 815. I'm going to put more weight in the toe. Okay, so 2 more drivers to go, XR16. Okay, last club on the test, Callaway Epic. I'm just going to move because I didn't find the fairways very well with this last time at all. We move this weight around to fade. Sliding weight around to fade, which again is perfectly in the rules because kind of adjustability is obviously a big thing with these toys. 5 drives left. Okay, last shot of the test. It's a pretty straight one. Epic did well towards the end there to hit more fairways. Much better. Right, I'm going to breather. I'm going to go through the data. Let's try and compile some information around these 6 drivers, sorry, to tell us how technology has changed over the last 5 years. Has it? Wait and see. Okay, so all testing has been done. And I've had time to relax and go through the data. This test was designed to test the last 5 years of drivers from Callaway and what has actually changed. This month I'm doing Callaway, next month I'll be doing a different brand. Comment below which brand do you want me to do next. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So, all 10 shots were delivered, 1 round of 5. If any adjustments needed to be made, there could be, and another round of 5. I was already warmed up before the test started, and I did all the testing with brand new Pro V1 practice balls and GC2 HMT. So let's look through the club data first. So this is effectively how consistent I was when I was hitting these shots. And we see this column, the head speed, as being an important factor in this. All the way from 2012 to 2017, the club head changed by less than 2 miles per hour. I think just 2 miles per hour was the most the club head changed by. And that was an average of the shots that we counted. It's the average of shots that we counted. Just to make note, every driver had 50% fairways hit, so inside that 20 mark either side of the centre line, bar 1. There was one that got 60%. And that was the V series. So that had an advantage because it chose the best 5 out of those 6. That was the whole idea of it. If one of them hit 10 fairways, it would have still been the best 5. So club head speed was the same. You can see lie angle, face angle, path, all pretty similar. And this little spot here, this is super important, face impact. Where I hit on the club face was super consistent across the 6 drivers that I tested. So then we get to the gritty bit. We get to the ball data. So off that club data, what was the ball doing? What was the golf ball doing? What was going furthest? What was spinning the least? What was the most consistent? Let's have a look. So we can see there along the side, we have all of the clubs in date order, 2012 to 2017. Ball speed is your first column. And the fastest ball speed was the new driver, the Callaway Epic, with 165 ball speed. But that's only 1 miles per hour faster than 2012, just 1 mile per hour. The rest of them are pretty much in that space. The slowest, there's 2 slow ones, XR16 and the Big Bertha Alpha 815, 2015 model. We then look at the carry distances, what carry distance we were getting. The longest was actually the Callaway XR16 driver. That was the longest, even though it wasn't the fastest ball speed, that was getting the longest distance. Next longest carry distance was the Great Big Bertha Epic, so the brand new model. And if we go back all the way to 2012 with the RAZR Fit, that was only 279. That's 7 yards shorter. Only 7 yards shorter. That's not a lot at all. We're talking 5 years. Don't forget how many drivers. We've had 24 drivers in that space. 24 drivers between, well, actually probably about 20, maybe 21 drivers between the RAZR and the XR16, the original, the normal model. And the distance is only 7 yards further. It's nothing. Worthy mentions up here are the Big Bertha V Series, similar to the RAZR. The X Hot, very similar again. The real duff performer, it was dreadful, was the Alpha 815. Just awful. Now, the thing with that driver, he had ridiculous amounts of custability with the gravity core and all that. It's no surprise it only lasted 2 models. That gravity core just wasn't working at all. If we look at spin rates, what's changed? And this is a lot of it dependent on strike. The lowest spin rate, oh, it's so close, it could have been super good, was again the XR16. But the RAZR Fit 2012 model is right in there at 2,400. The Epic, 2,480. The XR16, 2,423. The highest spin rate was the Alpha. We won't talk about the Alpha, it was pointless. The rest of the clubs are pretty much there and thereabouts. Total distance, longest was XR and Epic. Second longest was Big Bertha V Series. I was really impressed with the V Series. For me, out of all of the drivers, felt the best. Probably not looked the best. I actually preferred the look of the X Hot 2013 model. Thought it was an awesome look. Beautiful golf club. But look at that. Like, there's nothing in it. Nothing at all. We're talking 7 yards difference between 5 years. It's actually 4 years between those two drivers. 4 years. Am I hitting any of them straighter? No. Absolutely not. You can see the ball flights up here at the top. They're all the ones that found the fairway. There was just one that found the fairway more, which is the V Series. The rest of them found 5 fairways out of 10. That's in that 20-yard radius. That's down to me, not the club so much. But I'm not hitting any straighter. I'm not massively hitting any further. A little bit, but not a lot. If I compare 2012 to 2015, 2012 would have won. It's just that when you throw in the next couple of models, they definitely improve the range. Incredibly interesting test. Again, massive thanks to GolfBidder for helping me collect these golf clubs so I could do this test. And it just shows, you know, a club that's 5 years old is still holding its own ground with a brand new driver. I would have loved to have tested all 24, but it was just a logistical nightmare. Too much adjustability. So I feel like I got a real good cut through of all of the clubs tested over these 5 years. I feel like I've tested each year sufficiently enough. Guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button. Comment below, what did you think was going to be the winner? And have you got any of these drivers? And do you prefer old technology, or do you buy into the marketing ideas of the new technology? I'd love to hear your thoughts. There's definitely enhancements, there's definitely improvements, but there's not the 10 yards followed by 10 yards followed by 10 yards improvement, because we would all be hitting the golf ball 400 yards. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you do, hit thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to tell me what brand you want me to test next. Let me know what brand you want me to test next, coming next month. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.